Hey YouTube, it's been a while, a couple weeks or maybe even months since I last posted my video. Yeah, I think the last time I posted a video was in November. It is now February, so it's been a while. You can see that I'm really sick. I have a red nose. I'm going through tons of Kleenex boxes. Right now, I'm living in Toronto with my grandparents, and they are both currently in Cuba, so I've had the house to myself, which is really, really nice. And it's been good, but they're coming back home tonight, so no more being home alone. What I could talk about quickly is just the weather here in Canada. It's usually like people think it snows a lot, like when it's the winter season, but for the past couple of years we haven't had much of a snowfall, and the past couple of days we've gotten a lot of snow. There's piles and piles in the backyard, just mountains like that are heaping up, and we had to shovel a lot. We couldn't even move, like the door was blocked because that's how much snow there is. Anyways, I'm really sick. I'm just out of it, but I'm gonna tell you about my second semester. I'm in second year university, so the courses I'm taking, I'm in criminology. I'm a crim student, and I'm taking research statistics for criminal justice, and it's a terrible class. I absolutely hate it. It's required, unfortunately, so I have to go through with it, and I feel like it's just such an average dropper. Like I have no interest in it. It's just stupid. The prof, she's just a really hard marker, and I got my first assignment back the other day, and I did really bad. And I hate getting bad marks. It just really bothers me, and it bugs me to no end. So I'm gonna have to try harder, I guess. And so yeah. And I'm taking a social inequality class for the criminal justice system. So it's just talking about like the criminal justice system in Canada and how it's flawed and like imperfect. Next class I'm taking is popular culture. It's a sociology class, so that I'm really enjoying that class. It's actually really interesting. I'm taking English. It's a first year English class. I just needed a humanities course because I have to have one. So I was originally in history, but then I changed my mind and switched to English last second because it was the only course available. So we're just reading a lot of short stories and poems right now, but the exam is going to be on Shakespeare, The Tempest, so that should be really interesting. I really got to read that and catch up. What other class? There's one more class I'm missing. I'm taking victimology, victimization, which is another required criminology course. I'm taking criminal justice. Criminal justice is different from criminology because criminal justice focuses more on how things go through the system, like the actual criminal justice system, but criminology focuses more on the actual like criminals, I would say, and individuals. So I think I'd be more interested in criminology, and I did get accepted to criminology for like U of T, and I think Laurier offered it, but I think Guelph had criminal justice as well. But I decided to take criminal justice at Ryerson just because I wanted to go to Ryerson, so it's a bit different, but kind of the same concept, I guess. So I'm taking victims, and that course just focuses mainly, instead of on like the offender and like the system itself, it focuses on the victim and how they deal with things and go through this process through the system. So I'm taking that class, and then we have like an annual criminal justice, like for all the criminal justice students, to go on a field trip to Kingston. We go to Kingston, like there's a bunch of prisons there, and the students get to have a tour with like the guards and corrections officers through the prisons. You can see some of the prisoners behind the glass. Some of them, it depends on like what type of prison. If it's like a maximum prison, like you can't see them, but if it's like a medium prison, then sometimes they're allowed to like walk by you, which is kind of scary because they're in there for bad things. But the ones who walk by you, I think like they're just like, they're not obviously sex offenders or anything, because those types of offenders are usually incarcerated and by themselves. Other than that, I've just been really sick. I had I had since I've been home alone, I had a couple of friends over at my grandparents' house. This is my grandparents' house. They have actually a really nice house and there's so many breakables in here. My grandma's a cleaning lady. So like if you move one thing out of place or like there's a scratch on like something, she would definitely notice. So I was super smart and I invited a couple friends, 5 other friends over and we were playing beer pong in her dining room actually, which is probably not the best idea. But so for the most part, the house was clean overall. They didn't make too much of a mess. Uh, there was just a lot of garbage that I had to somehow get rid of, and we had a beer funnel but we drank from it outside, and we got like beer on the ground. And usually I was like, okay, well beer will come off the floor, but after I put water on it, it wasn't coming out, and then I kept trying it, and it just wasn't coming out. So I was freaking out, and I was like, how are we supposed to get these beer stains out of like the ground, because it was like stained on the floor, like you could tell there were splatter marks everywhere, and I was just panicking because they would definitely notice. So how I got this cold was I went outside barely wearing a coat, like it was I was not wearing mittens, I was not wearing a hat, it wasn't my coat wasn't zipped up, and I went out with like big buckets of water and like sponges and scrubbers and soap, and I literally was in like -10-degree weather, just like bending down and like scrubbing the floor, just like hoping to get it out and salting the ground and everything just to get rid of the evidence. And I think just for being outside that long and being around water and not being very bundled up caused me to catch this cold, which sucks because it's the 3rd time that I've been sick this year. And I normally am a person who never gets sick, but I feel like my immune system is like slowly deteriorating or something because it keeps failing me and I keep getting sick. And sorry, it's such a pain. I really don't like it. So anyways, just thought I'd say hello. It's been a while since I've posted a video, so see you later, guys.